Hello everyone. Welcome to Keerthi's FinFo NRI community. I'm CS Keerthana. I live in Dubai. I run The Consultancy, a firm which is specialized in NRI tax and financial planning services. I've done my CS from India. I'm also a SEMA strategic level from UK and a SEBI registered MFT. As usual, I am here to help you navigate the complex NRI finance with another subject. All NRIs who are watching the global developments such as rising oil price, Fed decision of keeping interest rates steady, and Israel-Hamas conflict closely will have one question in their mind. Will interest rate come down in the near future? Many were expecting the central banks to cut the interest rate, but the unexpected war between Israel and Hamas had changed everything. Now no one knows if it is really going to come down or go up. This interest rate hike will have significant impact on your financial planning. Because of these interest rate movements, your loan EMIs might change. Interest rate may also impact inflation, which will indirectly affect your saving level. Interest rate increase or decrease, it has direct correlation with FD rate. If you are an equity investor, then definitely interest rate movements can move markets. For these reasons, as NRI, keeping eye on these interest rate movements, this can really help you to plan the finance from short to medium term. In this video, let's understand these issues in detail. First, what is the correlation between interest rate and inflation? Second, impact of interest rate hikes in general in global economy. Third, whether the interest rate will fall in 2024. Fourth, how it might impact financial planning of NRIs. So stay tuned till the end. So let's start with the basic question. What is the correlation between interest rate and inflation? RBI in India or Fed in US, these central banks are entrusted with the responsibility of managing inflation and they decide the fate of interest rate too. Here is how it works. When an economy is overheated, interest rate increases. When an economy is stumbling, interest rate decreases. But is tackling the scenario so easy? There is no straightforward answer to this. Inflation, if managed well, it can boost an economy of the country. Because at this stage, you see there is a demand for the produced goods. People are spending and economy flourishes. But what if it goes beyond control? Prices start skyrocketing and people can't afford to buy even the basic commodities at that stage. This is purely a demand-driven inflation. Usually, through the monetary policies, central banks such as RBI in India can manage demand-side inflation by increasing the interest rate. Now think, what if the root cause is not the demand but supply? Yes. After COVID, many central banks have reduced interest to boost liquidity in the system, where people literally went on spending spree. But when Russia-Ukraine war started, the dynamics started changing too. The price of essential commodities such as oil, food, they went up and many companies also started feeling the pinch of this supply chain disruption. Now think of these companies. How to manage the higher cost which happened unexpectedly. Either it is by passing it on to the end customers or cutting down the production itself, right? That's where the sticky inflation creeps into the system. Cost of the goods goes high, central government increases the interest rate. For example, from 2022 to 2023, in US, Fed, in order to achieve its dual target, that is to keep the price stable and maximize the employment, did massive interest rate hike as illustrated in this table. In March 2022, from 0.25% till 0.5%, it did its first rate hike. And in October 2023, Federal Reserve had decided to hold the interest rate steady between 5.25 to 5.5% after doing strings of 11 rate hikes. Yes, 11 rate hikes. Because in US, the core inflation is currently at 3.7% and Fed has target of 2%. Even in India, RBI had announced in order to anchor inflation at 4%, it's keeping the interest rate at 6.5%. Interest rate can have spiraling effect across economy. Now let us look at how inflation impacts at individual as well as corporate level. First, central bank starts increasing the interest rate. As a result, bank will start charging more to the customers who are borrowing money, whether it is retail or corporate. As a result, the spending power starts weakening. That means customers take fewer loans if it is a fresh loan, or for the existing loan, customers will pay higher interest cost. As a result, in an economy, overall disposable income reduces. So there is less demand for the goods and services produced also. Now this is at individual level. At business level, the cost of borrowing goes high for the business and their current debt payment also goes high. As a result, there is less profit left out for the business. This will lead to the share price falling. Now that we have understood what is inflation and how it affects economy in general, let's look at other points. Now, these points lead to the most important question which matters to all of us, whether interest rate will fall in 2024. This is very important not only in Indian context but everywhere. In India, interest rate has gone up from 5.8 to 6.5% just in 1 year, and in US from 0.25 till 5.5%. Even in UAE, since it is a pegged currency, interest rate hikes became inevitable, pushing the cost to 5.4%. Fed chairman Mr. Powell recently had said that interest rate cut is not at all being considered till the target inflation rate of 2% is achieved. UAE too follows the step of Fed. Now even in UAE, the interest rates are largely moving in the direction of the Fed rate. In India, RBI is taking precautionary steps considering the whole global developments, because in case if there is escalation in the conflict in Gaza, then oil prices may reach even up to $150, which makes RBI job really tough. India is an import dependent nation and inflation definitely spirals up in this case. So the interest rate might be reduced but not immediately. Probably at the end of 2024. But it is not guaranteed. What is certain now is the pace of decline or decrease is going to be much slower, considering how every central bank all over the world aggressively, rapidly have done the interest rate hike in the previous year. This may bring more investment opportunities and pose some threats also. It's a complex topic, but in a nutshell, I'm going to explain how this is going to affect various asset classes. FD, stock, bonds, real estate, etc. Whenever there is interest rate hike, FD will offer better return. So if you're planning to keep fixed deposit for any of your financial goals, this may be the time. And if you want to keep FD in Indian rupees in NRI account or foreign currency in FCNR account in India, you will definitely get better rates. Even in US, certificate of deposits, the interest rate will be better now. So, do your financial audit and decide if you want to capture this opportunity. Now, let's see how it impacts real estate. See, when there is increased cost of borrowing or the interest rate, this makes real estate expensive. Real estate prices will go up. This may be the time for you to book the profit in real estate if you have made any investment in the past. If you have purchased real estate on loan, then this will definitely increase your EMI. So you need to figure out a way to manage your finance. In bond market, short-term bonds, because of the higher interest, become really attractive to the investors, and investors can use this opportunity to shift from risky equities to stable asset class like bonds, if this is your goal. And when investor pulls out the money from the stock market, obviously what happens? Stock market crashes. But don't worry. If you are investing for long term, let's say 10-15 years, this is the time to enter stock market or do a top up if you are already in the stock market. This kind of opportunities do not come often, and it can help you to compound your wealth in the stock market in long term. Now that you have understood how and why interest rate matters for the health of economy as well as person's investment portfolio, if you like this video, please share this video with your friends and subscribe my channel.